A number of brokers knowingly and willingly purchased and held synthetic shares, and now they're subtly admitting it during the GameStop stock split. Today I want to talk about what this actually means for the GameStop split and why GameStop and AMC will still squeeze. So stay tuned and let's make some money. So this is an email from the broker Qtrade saying this change will be reflected in your account when the new shares are received by Qtrade on or about the 28th of July, in about 5 business days from the payment date. So if you didn't already know, just to quickly refresh your mind, the GameStop split count date was on July the 18th. On July the 18th, GameStop counted all available shares in all available accounts. The split shares were then distributed on the evening of the 21st of July, and most users should see the new shares in their accounts as of this morning, aka right now. But if you trade with Qtrade, you won't be seeing these new shares in your accounts until on or about the 28th of July, aka sometime next week. But now again, it isn't just some small broker like Qtrade. You've also got RBC Direct Investing, who also won't be depositing new GameStop split shares into your accounts until Tuesday the 26th of July, aka next week as well. And again, we're also seeing even TD Ameritrade not depositing split shares into accounts until the 25th of July 2022. Obviously again, Monday of next week. TD Ameritrade tweeted saying the anticipated swing date for the GameStop stock split is July 25th, 2022. They said, we anticipate receiving the shares from GameStop's transfer agent on that date. But yet GameStop's transfer agent have already said they're distributing shares today, and many brokers have already received those shares today on the 22nd. But so what is actually going on here? Why are some users receiving shares now on the 22nd, but why are some users not receiving shares until the latest, being the 28th of July? And this is because many brokers like Qtrade, like RBC Direct and like TD Ameritrade have knowingly sold synthetic shares to many users. I did say the other week, while the GameStop stock split is indeed a trigger or is indeed a catalyst of the squeeze, it's not the only catalyst. I mentioned these brokers, these market makers and these hedge funds would likely somehow try and find a way around the GameStop stock split. So what these brokers, these market makers and these hedge funds are doing is waiting for GameStop and for ComputerShare to distribute the legal shares, or to distribute the legally split shares to these brokers holding legal shares. What these brokers, these market makers and hedge funds are then doing is locating these brokers holding legally distributed shares and legally distributed split shares and buying those shares from them. They're then buying these legally distributed split shares and again then further distributing these legally split shares to these brokers holding illegal synthetic shares. And this is why these brokers that knowingly and willingly bought synthetic shares aren't actually receiving their distributed shares until a few days later, some point next week. Some of these brokers holding synthetic shares are going to get their shares on Monday, and then those shares will be passed to other brokers on the Tuesday, and then those shares will be passed to other brokers on the Thursday. Effectively, these legally distributed split shares are going to be changing hands to a number of different brokers during this week and during next week. They're effectively going to play pass the parcel or hot potato with these legally distributed split shares, going from one broker to another and to another until every single broker has record of receiving legally distributed shares. As Rocket Astronaut tweeted, he said, bottom line is you will see the stock split as it is, 4-1, but some brokers won't have the real shares. And he said some brokers won't have them until Monday, but some brokers won't have them until the 28th. You'll see what I mean by that tomorrow. And guys, if you haven't already, be sure to sign up to Moomoo right now using the link in the description below. You can currently get 10 free shares worth up to a total of $25,000 and a guaranteed free share of Lucid on top of that. Moomoo is also very easy to use, it's incredibly customizable, they've got tons of technical indicators and advanced charting tools. From Moomoo's latest customer agreement, they officially state they do not benefit from your order flow, and they do not sell your order flow to market makers like Citadel or to clearing houses like Apex Clearing. In fact, they clear their trades on their own through their own clearing broker, Futo Incorporated, which does also not accept payment for order flow, and therefore Moomoo is brilliant for buying those AMC and GameStop shares. So just to confirm, in case you didn't actually know, the real shares have been distributed today, and many brokers holding actual legally distributed shares have already received their dividend split. But those brokers that knowingly purchased synthetic shares won't be receiving their dividend split until a few days later, because they need to wait for the hedge funds to buy those legally distributed split shares and give them to these other brokers. So while for the moment these hedge funds, these brokers and these market makers may have found a way out, it won't be something that's set in stone forever. There is still only a few legally distributed shares and not enough to cover all of the synthetic shares issued as well. These legally distributed split shares are effectively just going to be passed around the table to all of the different brokers until they've all legally recognised themselves receiving these legally distributed split shares. But effectively, they're not creating additional legally issued or legally distributed split shares. They're again just using the same shares over and over again, aka using more fake shares. And the Common Sense Investor has tweeted something very interesting indeed. He said the GameStop squeeze has been halted. Webull has just announced to their customers that GameStop has been halted and should resume trading in 1 to 2 days. This screenshot from Webull obviously shows the GameStop chart, and it does say that GameStop performed a 4-for-1 forward split. But just down here, it then says due to a corporate action, this stock has been temporarily suspended. Trading should resume in 1 to 2 trading days. I think because all of these brokers are having to actually admit they don't hold real shares and they won't be receiving split shares until some point next week. Obviously, many platforms like Webull and Robinhood likely as well know the squeeze could potentially happen, and therefore they're turning off trading completely for the next few days. This user also tweeted saying, since when has a dividend or stock split ever caused position close only in the entire history of the market? He said this is stealing the buy button again. Webull, please explain yourselves. So if you were to scroll down further on this screenshot from the Common Sense Investor, you can see that actually the buy button is greyed out and you can't buy more GameStop shares, but of course you can still sell to close. This once again seems like Webull turning off the buy button and not allowing their users to buy more shares. But as I've said in my video many times before, hopefully by now you've already left Webull, you've already left Robinhood, and you've signed up with a different broker like Moomoo that doesn't turn off the buy button. I also spoke to my rep at Moomoo who confirmed that Moomoo will be following the guidance for the GameStop split shares and will be legally distributing those split shares to their users today. And again, if you haven't yet moved away from Webull or from Robinhood, I do think this should be yet another sign that you should move, as Webull have once again turned off the buy button. And it seems like this is already causing these hedge funds to panic, as BB Liquidating Incorporated, which is the company behind Blockbusters, seems to have shot up 1,900% over the last trading day. In the post-market yesterday, BLIAQ, aka BB Liquidating Incorporated, aka Blockbuster, was up 1,900% in the aftermarket alone. Clearly these hedge funds are panicking and are already having to pump these zombie stocks to potentially try and avoid the squeeze, along with getting brokers like Webull to again turn off the buy button. But as Porty tweeted, he said there is nothing they can do to stop GameStop. And the more they try to stop it, the worse it gets for them. Or they can try and share these legally distributed shares around all of these different brokers to ensure they've all received legally distributed shares and create more and more synthetics. They cannot stop the squeeze. Now you may have seen this tweet the other day from Nazim saying, wow, ComputerShare just pulled the plug on its clients, reducing the sell limit from $214,000 a share to $3,500 ahead of GameStop's stock split. But what you may not have seen is this follow-up reply from Enrique that says the change applies to both day limit orders and good till cancel limit orders as well. But this change does not affect the maximum trade value consideration that our system will accept. The maximum consideration will remain at $10 million per share for designated securities, specifically GameStop and AMC, and $2 million per share for other securities for each individual order submitted via the web. So it seems like even though ComputerShare have reduced their individual day and GTC limit orders, they haven't reduced the overall sell prices for GameStop or for AMC and have left them at $10 million per share. Again, I also think it's crazy that both GameStop and AMC have such an increased value per share or sale value per share compared to every other stock on the market. But guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always guys, be sure to ding that notification bell, because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.